Good morning, everyone. This is MDB Modified Darvas Box coming at you with another video here on October 28th at 11:20 a.m. in the morning on Saturday. I love going through these videos. It helps me catch up with what's happening in the market and maybe see things with a new perspective, look for signals and things like that. So for anybody who has never watched one of these, my system is based on the book How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Darvas, and I've added my own touches and everything, and I encourage you to create your own systems. What I do when I go through charts, I like to go through them fast, and I'm looking for signals here on this right side of the chart, because the signals will tell us what kind of potential actions we might need to take in the coming week. I've got 6 lists, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which I keep various stocks in, and I always start with the indexes and stuff like that list. And this one here that we're looking at is the AMZ, the MLP index. These are good for income, and I've got some of these in my income portfolio. But as we can see, some pullbacks right here. The market's had a tough week this week, and it makes no sense. It makes perfect sense to me, because as I posted about valuations do matter, and the future growth does matter. So everything happens for a reason in here. But let's get into it. Whip through these fast so we can all get on with our day. All right. Darvas box breakdown right here, confirmed on ARC. Honestly, we shouldn't even be tracking ARC. It's just so silly. If we zoom out, there's just nothing going on here. I don't know why I bothered to watch. I guess I like watching Kathy Wood do bad, which is bad. We shouldn't throw stones. Oil inside a Darvas box. Tried to break out last week. Now, woof, coming back down. Because, again, we may be heading into a recession. It appears more and more likely. And in recessions, energy demand usually goes down. Crap week in the market. Yeah, there. NASDAQ Darvas box breakdown. Volume was low, but price really took a dump. Here's some bullish area. Ethereum. Box breakout last week, and then this week it went up, but the bulls got a little too excited here. This is called a shooter bar or an inverse hammer, and because there's giving me a signal here, I color code stuff on my charts. See, like yellow, white, gray, blue, tan. Because of that, we'll draw a line underneath, and we'll want to be aware of how it trades next week. We definitely don't want it to break that line, because that would be a bearish or shorting signal, etc. But right now it was bullish. A lot of volume. Look at that. Bullish until it proves that it's going to fail. But it definitely is giving a signal here, and when we see signals, we simply wait for reactions. Signal, and then watch how price reacts to that signal. Oof. Proxy for growth, FFTY. This is just ugly. Box breakdown, and it's getting worse. Look at that red. This was probably all the people who bought in here puking it out. Not good for growth. China, going sideways. GBTC, I own this. Bitcoin proxy. Did the same thing as Ethereum, but went up. But this here is a shooter bar, which is inherently negative. So we're going to keep eyes on here. I'm going to set an alert for right here. But I got some cushion between here and here. So, yeah, we'll see what happens next week. I really don't know. I feel this is bullish overall, because we had a box breakout. But, who knows? We'll see. Gold is bullish. Darvas box breakout. and heading higher. This is a good sign. High yield bonds. High yield bonds are very sensitive to economic stress and problems. It's bad that it was going down here, but a little rebound week, well, that's always good. If junk bonds were cratering, then we would be in some real trouble, in my opinion. Oop, box breakdown on the IGV. This is software. This is one of the strongest areas of the market, and that's saying that's pretty negative. Housing, yuck. Microcaps, yuck. Russell 2000, yuck. All box breakdowns. When you got nothing but box breakdowns, the market is bearish. The grizzly bear. That's getting even worse. You know, see here, this is what I see. I see a long downtrend, and now it's started to accelerate, and we get a volume spurt. This may be marking a short-term bottom of sorts, or maybe closer to a bottom of sorts. Whenever you see those puke bars, down, 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 down. Oh my God, this is getting serious. Down, 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 and then look at that. Just falls off a cliff. That might be a sign of panic. And you know, markets tend to bottom on panic. So we shall see. QQQs. Box breakdown on big volume. Yeah, that's not good. RSP. This matches the family trust. It's just doing terrible. But again, there's that big volume. Whatever these people who bought in here might finally be puking it out here. This may mean we're closer to a bottom. Unknown if it's a long-term bottom or a short-term bottom, but when you run out of sellers, who's left to sell? It's the same thing on buyers on the upside. When you see gigantic buy volume, who's left to buy after that? After everybody's in. In this case, everybody's out. Maybe. So we'll see that there may be indications for a bounce next week. You know, chart interpretation is an art or a skill. It takes a while to learn it. I've only been doing this for 25 years, so you'd think I probably should have learned something by now. The shy. Oh, this is a good sign. When this goes up, it means inflation may be coming down, and it might also indicate that the Fed might be, stop kicking us in the face. Because look, we got some positive green here, positive green. This is where the Fed started raising rates down in here. So to have this start to tick up, that's a good sign. Semiconductor, the story's the same. Box breakdown, big red volume. Definitely bearish. There's nothing bullish about this chart. Here's S&P 500. Pink bar signal last week, which means pay attention. The markets may be making a decision. Well, they sure decided fast. Look at that. Breaks down. It's my belief that we're going to go close out the year around 4,000, right down here. So I marked it here. So this could probably go, bounce around in here, but maybe end up at 4,000. We'll see. It's just a forecast. Forecasts change all the time. There's a SPY confirming the same thing. Sentiment's pretty low, not super low, but pretty low. T2107s, percentage of stocks above the 200-day moving average. That's now hitting the yellow line. It hits the yellow line, that's where people start getting concerned. If it hits or goes below the green line, at that point we want to be buying or looking for buys. Historically, this is the COVID lows. And then here was the 2022 lows. So yeah, we're now getting in a zone where people really are starting to panic. Same thing here on T2108, percent stocks above the 40-day. This is looking real low. Is it going to go lower? It might. COVID. Now this can spend a lot more time hanging down on the lows because it's not a primary bounce tool. The tan, solar, nothing but bears. Look how awful that looks. Where's solar going? I'll tell you where it's going. Probably down here eventually. There's a great saying, which I say a lot in these videos. What's down and to the right tends to keep going down and to the right. Although I used to say it to the left, but that makes no sense. TLTs, look at that. So you see bonds that may have finally puked out their bonds. Banks and whoever. But that's a lot of volume. If we look on the monthly chart, let's see here. How does the volume look? Oh, ho, ho, look at that. Look at this volume. This may be an interest rate low because look at that. It's never been high. It's never been this high. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, we're probably closer to a bounce next week. I don't want to say a bottom, but maybe a bounce coming. Nice. I'm making a note of that. What is this? The 10-year Treasury. Oh yeah, I posted a chart. I felt the 10-year Treasury is going up here ultimately to the 5%. But if the TLT is looking like a bounce, maybe we stop here right here at 5%. I mean, I don't know. Well, I've gotten close. Darn close. Maybe this needs to move down a smidge. More like that. Either way. Maybe in a few months it'll get there. I don't know. But it's probably likely. Oof, uranium. Ever since hitting the top of the Darvas box on big volume, remember that what we just were talking about? You know, who's left to buy? Everybody's buying here. Who's left? Well, then the bears came and sold it. Now there's not enough bulls to push back up higher. VIX, nothing there. More deterioration. That's commercial real estate. Housing. Who the hell is buying a house in this environment? XLE. But this also had a huge M&A transaction, so this is a white bar sell signal. Now granted, a shooter bar here and shorting it here would have been very profitable, but you know, maybe because of that big M&A deal. Let's see here. Okay, we gotta ramp this up. Gotta get faster. There's so much action on the charts here. So list 2 here. This is big volume. What I consider textbook. What I consider also the strongest of the strong. And from the prior video, I put this levels here. I should get rid of it. And it's just it's just hanging out down on this lower line. The gray is an inside week, which indicates indecision. I bought it here in the blue, sold it up here in the red because of this indecision line right there. That's the market telling us what to do. Yeah, man, we're bullish. Yeah, this week, I don't know, man. You know, maybe things have changed. And then this week, yeah, it's bullish. It's time to step out. So right here, you could buy some, but it's my feeling it's heading toward this moving average as it catches up. This one I got stopped out in. sucked. Need to update this. I was clinging to my fingernails on this one. But look at that. That's what you call a hammer bar. It's coated in the colors. Yeah, some people got washed out, but then other bulls came right back in. Now this could be bullish if it starts moving above that level. So we're going to set an alert for that. Maybe we need to buy it again. I made all of 15 cents on this one. Fro. This here is a Darvas box breakout. And you see it's just moving. This is oil tankers. Not easy over on the chart, but you had a signal right here, and now look at that. If you took that buy signal, 18, you're up like $3. That's pretty good for this stock. Geo moving up. There's not very many bullish stocks. Oh, this here is a box breakdown. Tried to break out here, came up, no, and now, as predicted, it's failed. I did not own this one, but this is how this is how I would draw it. Oh, I can't draw right here. But it failed the line right there. This one will go on list 5, which is full of failures. Box breakdowns. All right, number 3, CCJ. So this looks like a new box range, like that. Going sideways, there was an inside week right here. It tried to be a positive long trade, but the bears just kept pushing it down. And notice here, there's no big green volume. So the bulls did not have enough ammunition. So this is sort of a failure, just going sideways. This was the only potential trade in here, and it didn't do anything. So that's a sideways one. We'll put this in the watching list. Dell, still going sideways. This one's interesting because I'm looking for a signal to go long this one. But we don't have a signal yet. Probably needs the moving average to get a little closer. This one I'm watching, but this whole range here is just a mess. It's kind of difficult. Netflix, I'm bullish on this one because of this bar right here. But if we draw a line across the top like that, it had this quick trigger, but it didn't stick because the market's so bad. But I feel that we should keep Netflix on our longer term radar. When the market improves, I've got a feeling Netflix is gonna really rock. And I think it's because due to costs. If they replace all the actors with AI, think of how much money Netflix is going to save. Poor Tom Cruise. His career is over. He doesn't know it. SLH. This was my best trade of 2023. Bought it here. Sold it here. Why? You see the signal. See, this is what trading's all about. It's just signals and then reaction to signals and taking action when you see them. Pink bar. Market said to pay attention, and they decided that no, they're not going to crash with all the other stocks. They are going sideways because it's still a bad environment, but no, the market's decided that this one still may have a future. So maybe we'll move this to maybe there, just to keep an eye on it. And we'll set an alert. In my opinion, I think you should use alerts very liberally. I've got tons of alerts, and they're always going off because they're telling me when significant things happen. Nothing going on here with the ELF. It's still very bearish looking. Oh, on this list, number 4, bearish characteristics. Oh, that's a box breakdown. That should go on list 5. Tesla box breakdown. I don't have this trade anymore. I covered it like right in here. I didn't go after it again. I just didn't trade much this week. Just felt opportunities are maybe on the short side, but I'm just not a very good shorter. So textbook box breakdown right here. Not good. Put on the avoid list. Workday's bearish, but nothing horrible. I wouldn't buy it. Okay, we're getting through this video pretty fast. Okay, this is list 5. List 5 is all the box breakdowns and avoids. Right here we can see that this one has completed a bearish box, so I'll color it red. Nothing going on there. Apple. Apple's still strong enough that it's tried to break it down, have a box breakdown, but it didn't succeed yet. Ugh. This one should just be nothing but box breakdowns, and we see it here. This one's from the past, hasn't done anything yet. Note here, last week was an inside week. All it did was sort of futz around with it. But I'm not a fan of that one. AMD. AMD's on this list because it had the box breakdown. Now volume is low and continues to be low, but there's no signals here to go long. Nothing here, nothing to do except watch. Amazon had earnings, but you know what? It's still kind of blah. But Amazon, this is positive though, this bar right here. I'm almost thinking that should go to list 3, bullish. That's a bullish sign, so I'm going to move it to list 3. We'll keep an eye on that. I move stocks around quite a bit amongst my lists. Nothing there. Nothing. Nothing. We're looking for stuff that stands out. Oh, EMPH. What a dog. Woof. But look at this. Every time there's a big volume bar here, price sort of evens out a little bit. Maybe this might be a temporary low. I don't know. I don't have any more. Down more, down, down, down. Oh. This one needs to have the box closed off. When a stock leaves the box for 3 weeks, that's when I close it off. Because at that point, if it's not, sometimes they immediately turn around and go back in, and I feel silly doing that. So I came up with a rule of just, yeah, after 3 weeks, I close it off. But I'm looking for positive signs, and there just aren't any. I don't even know why I have this one on NVTS. I must have thought, oh, because it had the box breakout here, but look how it just gave it all up. This is just awful. I should probably get rid of this one. This is interesting a little bit. It had a little bit of a rebound here, but volume is low. It's sort of trying to make a little bit of a comeback, I guess. But no real bull signals. anything? Nope. Nope. See, everything's just box and then down. Oh, that's a textbook breakdown, excuse me. I mentioned it on last week's video. Look at all the signals in here. The bulls that hung there were very brave, but if they understood how to read charts, they would have bailed. Nothing going on. God, this one's so awful. Let's just get rid of it. I'll never buy this one. And no, I'll keep it actually because I did trade this one. So it's amazing here. Look how positive it all went through all this. Green, green, green. Something must have gone really wrong. Because look how it all changed. Red, 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 red. These were the bulls who still believe that the company now is like here when something's completely changed. There's that one. Nothing but bad charts. Where are the bullish charts? Maybe they're here in list 6 and we're almost done. Oh, ANET, this is one, look here. That's a box breakdown. This one is so difficult to trade. That's a box breakdown. Now notice here, it's a green bar because I want all the bars above my moving average to be green. And all the bars below the moving average to be red. Use colors to your advantage. If using colors helps you look at charts better, then do it. Sideways, sideways. Oh, box breakdown. Man, almost all the stocks I follow will be in list 5. Did I have CCJ twice? I think I do. Confluent, nothing going on. Oof. Coin, yuck. That's a box breakdown with a big ass shooter bar. Yikes. So it looks something like this. Points for more downside. Yeah, that's a list 5. Avoid it. And it's funny, I own GBTC. Coupang. Maybe this one, maybe Carvana has a bounce chance in here, maybe? I don't know. But again, there's no signals. Volume's really light, but there's no signals. And we don't buy anything that doesn't have a signal. Ugh. That's a signal. I mean, granted, that's from a merger, but yeah, that goes into the avoid. Box breakdown. God, list 5 is going to be humongous. Bear signal. Ugh. Ford. Yuck. The car industry is a mess right now. Oh, that's... Technically that qualifies as a box breakdown, but I'm going to leave it. Oh, Google. Look at Google. Yuck. Yuck. List 5. Box breakdown. All the AI stuff is getting pounded. Everything's on list 5. And if everything's in list 5, it means we're not going to do anything because everything's in a void. Meta. Ugh. Ugh. Microsoft tried to break out. It didn't. With a shooter bar, so that's a potential signal. We'll see what this reaction is next week. Sideways, even NVIDIA, or NVIDIA, I don't know how you pronounce it. But you see, it's still sideways, but clinging. Ooh, box breakdown, but then a rebound back into the box. Not easy to trade, not easy to own. That's supposed to be right about there. Whoopsie, right about there. Coming back down. What I like is I bought it here. I sold it somewhere in here. I made some money, not a lot, but like 3% or so. But it was a good decision. Market change, just bail, and now look at it. It's way below where I originally bought it. Oh, box breakdown. Again on the volume theme, notice how quiet, 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 low, quiet, quiet, and all of a sudden there's an uptick in selling. That corresponds with other stocks with upticks in selling. So everyone who was hanging on, hoping that everything would be okay, finally acted. Are there more sellers behind these guys? I don't know. But it makes me think next week we might have a rebound. All right, we're almost done here. That needs to go on list 5. But this is how I do my watch lists, you know? It's not hard, doesn't take very long. A long time. Oh, the stinger finally moving. No real signals in here, but this one is moving up. This area right down here was just too sketchy. Like I would have been stopped out down in there. And there's nothing in here which is making me want to jump into it. So, ugh, Uber, darn you. All right, almost done. List 5. And that's it for going through the stock lists. The only thing I'll share, which I've done the last couple of weeks, this is the new look on the S&P 500. All we need to know is that this has come down. The shape of the curve has changed a little bit. But look, the overall estimates, negative. They all decreased. So if you wonder, why did this past week, why was there tons of selling? Well, here's one answer. Big investment managers are looking at the market and saying, man, there's just less in the future, not more. And if there's less here, then price needs to drop in order to make PEs a better value. And we can tell historically in here, we can use that to compare the growth and then where it should be priced. Where has the market historically priced that growth? Up here, we're now between 18 and 19. We're definitely now in an average market. And the only question is, what price level makes this here a good value relative to this? It's my contention that 4,000 is the level that we're trying to get to. So we'll see what happens one day at a time. I hope you guys have a good trading week, and I'll talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye.